In today's video, I'm going to explain how you can go from looking like this to looking like this without being super diligent with your diet. And we're starting right now. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and today I got a great question on my Instagram direct message from someone who's looking to lose some body fat, but isn't really being super diligent about their nutrition. Okay, and this is a common theme that I see. I want to get lean, I want to lose some body fat, but I don't want to get shredded and I don't want to do meal tracking and macro tracking. And so the question is something that I want to read to you. But before we get to that question, guys, I want you to understand that I have a whole other channel that I've been posting our podcast on, the Pro Physique Code. I also post a lot of videos around the job that I do, around my competition prep. So if you want to see a little bit more of what I do, we've got a whole other channel, link it below. It would mean a lot to me if you guys would subscribe because you've been such great supporters of this channel. And a lot of the coaches and a lot of the team get exposure on there, and it would mean a lot if you guys went there and showed us some love. If you're into the content that we're putting out, of course, with the podcasts, you can listen to that on all those other platforms, but we also have the videos to go along with it. So let's get to today's question. I'm 28, 5'6", 158 to 160 pounds. For the past year and a half, I've been going to the gym 4 to 5 days a week, workouts in the mornings. Job is pretty active, 400 to 600 calories. And basically between 1,500 and 2,000 calories. And I've lost weight and I've had success and I've added some muscle. The only thing is I don't meal prep, I don't track. So the question is, what do I have to do to get lean? It's funny, I feel like you answered the question right there. However, we'll talk about it. I don't want to be shredded, but I figure I have to lose another 10 pounds to lose. I'm losing weight at a steady pace. So there's a lot to unpack here, but I want to discuss an idea around how you can actually get shredded without changing your dietary habits. So last year, I did a video where I got up every day and did some cardio. And over the course of a month, I lost about 8 or 9 pounds of body fat. Now, I didn't track my diet. I didn't really intentionally hit a certain amount of macros. I, by nature, just eat kind of consistently in a manner that helps me build muscle. I try to focus my day around protein, but I'll be honest, I like my tequila. I like my drinks. I like my desserts. Give me a chocolate chip cookie. Give me some Pop-Tarts. I like all these things. The difference is when I'm trying to lose a little bit of body fat, I tend to just be a little bit more conservative with those decisions. Also, if I go out to eat with the family, if everyone's eating pizza, I might just get a grilled chicken salad, right? So I start to make some decisions around nutrition that are going to work in my benefit. But the real thing that I think I can help you with here is changing one thing about your routine that's going to make a huge difference without having an impact on anything else you're doing, your diet, your lifestyle, your dinners with your wife, your work. And it's probably going to be something that most people expect me to say if you watch my channel, but it's something I wish I'd known about earlier in the process. And that was having something at your house that allows you to burn calories. Why does that matter? The act of getting up, putting on your socks, driving to the gym to go do cardio or to go do something like that, it can be a burden, right? It takes away from your time. However, the minute I got something at my house, now for me, it's a treadmill, and I'll tell you why I love the treadmill. The moment that happened, I realized the freedom that I could literally at any moment chuck on a pair of shoes, turn the TV on, watch a sporting event, watch a movie, watch a show, do some cardio for 30 minutes, an hour, and really be proactive about working towards my goals without having to be the guy that's weighing out his food, putting it in Tupperware. There's a time and a place for that. I don't expect everybody to want to do that. And what I think's really neat about finding a way to do some cardio at the house is that it really puts you in the driver's seat. Now, why did I lose 8 or 9 pounds when I just started doing cardio every day? First of all, this is my job. I sit here at my desk every day. Guys, I coach bodybuilders, and that means a lot of times I'm sitting in my chair, I'm setting up nutrition plans, I'm answering emails, I'm sending video replies to my clients, I'm setting up consultations, all kinds of things that are going on, but it's mostly sedentary. So for me, doing cardio an hour a day was a pretty major shift. If you are pretty active, well, you're going to have to do something to be even more active to lose more body fat or be more restrictive. You said you don't want to be restrictive, so I'm meeting you where you're at and I'm telling you how to get this done. Buy a treadmill. Put a treadmill in your house, in your garage, in your spare bedroom. Put a TV in front of it. Get up and walk every day for an hour. Watch the magic happen. Now, why does it matter that you walk in the morning? Well, for me, if I have a reason, I'm not going to walk in the evening. If something comes up with my kids that get sick, if something comes up with my wife that I have to help her out, if something comes up with a client, if something happens during the day, cardio is pretty low on the importance totem pole. However, if I get up every day at 5:30, do my hour of cardio, go downstairs, get a shower, eat my breakfast, I've already done something to be very productive. So why does it matter that I did it in the morning? Because I did it so early, I don't want to undo the work I did. It's like a mental switch, okay? You got up, you did the first thing. Why would I want to eat like a jerk the rest of the day? You're already paying attention to your diet. So I think with the goal of losing body fat, getting up and starting your day, you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to focus my day around protein, around eating foods that I know are going to help me towards my goal. But there is just something magical, and guys, I wish I could explain it, about low intensity, steady state. Now for me, my treadmill settings usually start around 2 to 3 miles per hour. I'll start slow in the morning because, guys, I'm 48 years old, so, the ankles and knees got to get a little bit loose. I find the sweet spot for me is a speed of about 3.2 and an incline of about 4 to 5. That's where I find the sweet spot is. Now, if you guys want to know what the sweet spot is, I find that's where you're burning preferentially calories from fat, okay? So we're not getting to a state where we're burning carbohydrates. So that means the intensity is low enough, our breathing is low enough that we're not burning carbs. So if you guys aren't familiar with the scale of how fuel sources are used, and if you haven't heard this, maybe you've heard from other channels, you shouldn't eat carbs because then your body is going to burn carbs. False. Your body burns fuel based on the intensity of the exercise, not what you just ate. So low intensity steady state is going to preferentially burn fat for calories. High intensity cardio or explosive exercise, lifting weights, that's preferentially going to burn carbohydrates. So why does it matter? At the end of the day, what matters is the caloric deficit, okay? It matters that you're creating a deficit through what your body burns throughout the day, both through your basal metabolic rate, your activity, your non-exercise activity, all the things versus what you take in. What I have found is that high intensity exercise increases your appetite. That's right. Low intensity exercise will actually help sedate your appetite. Makes me feel like less hungry. And so what I found magic about the treadmill is that through just breaking a light sweat, getting my heart rate, somewhere between 120 and 140, I can breathe, I can talk normal, I can pay attention to the TV. I'm not it's not grueling or difficult. I feel invigorated the rest of the day. And I just noticed the weight started falling off me, okay, with very little effort. Now, it is effort. I'm not going to pretend like it's as simple as walking for a stroll outside. A lot of people compare walking to walking on a treadmill. It is not the same. If you've never walked on an inclined treadmill for an extended amount of time, you'll be shocked. Think of it as like walking uphill. You can actually burn quite a few calories. I've done some videos on how many calories you burn, but the real value, it's kind of like compounding interest. I just noticed when I do it every day, my body composition starts to change. My hunger signal starts to change. My excitement, the visual changes happen. So with all the information you gave me, I don't want to change anything about you. I just want you to get up and do something every day, whether it's an elliptical, whether it's treadmill, maybe you get a, stationary bike for the house, something like that. But for me, the reason I love the treadmill is because it's literally as easy as walking up the stairs, putting on my shoes, turning on some Netflix, and just zoning out for the next 30 minutes to an hour, depending on my goals. That's really where I find that we can get away with a lot. I know that they like to say you can't out exercise a bad diet, but you can exercise through a decent diet. You can make a lot of progress through a decent diet. I think most of us, as we progress in this life, I get more responsibilities, we tend to be more sedentary. And we look back to the times when we were leaner and we say things like, man, my metabolism was so good back then. I used to say this. And then I thought, man, back then was a whole different time. I literally didn't sit still all day. I would get up, ride my bike to school a couple miles. I would go to baseball and basketball practice. I would come home, play baseball or football with my friends, and repeat. And guess what I did when I was at school? Walk from class to class. I had recess. Back then we actually had to go to PE. I would play like volleyball and basketball at school. And just walking around campus all day, I can only imagine, how many steps I was getting on a daily basis. So no, your metabolism hasn't changed. The research shows that our metabolism is actually very, very healthy, well into our 70s and 80s. It is our lifestyle that changes. Body fat is not stubborn. People is stubborn. Okay. So what you've got to do, my friend, is change your lifestyle. You look amazing already. But if you have a goal that you're not meeting, you have to change something to get there, okay? If you're happy where you're at, great. There's nothing worse, though, than saying you want something repeatedly, but never making the adjustments to get there, okay? Make the adjustment, make the commitment. Guys, we're going to be starting our next summer shredding transformation challenge here in the not too distant future. I will announce that. It is not available yet. Our current one is going to be ending here in the near future. But the point is, I want to give you guys a deadline. I want to give you guys the tools. I want to make this process for you really enjoyable. And again, go check out the podcast, the Pro Physique Code. We talk about all these topics, really trying to provide you guys the assistance you need to reach your goals. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.